Hello, everyone. Welcome to my Who Pulls Wins podcast and my video as well. So I'm actually going to be talking about dog bites in children. So a little bit of a break from what I usually talk about, but it's something that as an emergency medicine doctor, so for those of you in the UK, it's A&E, it's something I'm very passionate about. So I'm going to be going over a bit about sort of dog bites and why they happen and how to prevent it. So I'm Dr. Helen. I'm an A&E doctor and an advocate for integrative wellness, as well as an animal aromatherapy specialist. And I love to use essential oils to support the health and well-being of myself and my pets, and helping educate people to do the same for their family, whether that's human or animal. So if you like what you're listening to, please hit the subscribe button or follow so I can carry on creating more content, and let me know in the comments what you want to know about. Would you like to get essential oils into your life? Why not book in for a free chat with me or come to one of my classes to find out how oils can support you? Or maybe you've got oils but you don't know how to use them best for either your health or that of your pets, or that's okay too, because I do general overviews or full consultations depending on your needs. So do drop me a message and we can chat about what the best options are for you. But back to the subject in hand, dog bites in children. So I have got some notes because I want to make sure I don't miss anything. So a little bit about me is I'm an emergency medicine doctor, and I work at a major trauma centre, and I work where we actually have a children's hospital as well. But even before that, working in emergency medicine, I at different hospitals, I've obviously seen an awful lot of dog bites in children. Now, I hate seeing them because I am a dog lover. Just in case you don't know who anything about me, I've got 6 dogs. I've had dogs all my life. They're pretty much my life. And I love seeing kids with dogs. They're just the most amazing bond and everything. And so the thing I hate the most is when there's a dog bite, because these are life-changing events for the child and also the dog. And the sad fact is that the vast majority of bites are completely and utterly preventable with good supervision and proper management of interactions. And this is the key. These bites are preventable, okay? It's a very, very small minority. We're talking like a couple of % where it's just so completely random. Now, I have spent several years studying dog bites in children and trying to understand via questionnaires to affected families why kids are getting bitten. So I did retrospective analysis of notes. I also did a form that could be filled in at the time of presentation in order to try and understand why kids were getting bitten. Now, there's a lot of different figures around, and I do feel sometimes these figures are slightly skewed because the accuracy, because of due to the data, because of how we collate bites in systems. So dog bites can be labelled with cat bites, human bites, insect bites, etc. So you have to actually do a real paper sift through the results that you get. But going a bit off topic, so I'm not 100% convinced by the figures that are quoted in nationwide statistics. Because of, like I said, because of the way it's coding, and because information is largely gathered from doctors' notes, and if they're not dog owners, they don't tend to ask the right questions, and so and a lot of the time it only really covers people who present to A&E, whereas a lot of people will still maybe have their child bitten but won't necessarily need to go to A&E or go, so you don't actually know whether it's just a nip or anything like that. So it's, anyway, I do go off the point a bit like that. Now, this may shock you, okay? Now, worldwide, the 2 most common breeds are actually the Dachshunds and the Pit Bulls, okay? So I am a Dachshund lover. I grew up with Dachshunds. That's the first dog we ever had as a family, was a little mini smooth called Christina. I don't know much about the breed Pit Bull, but the point is, if you think about their genetics, okay, they are feisty dogs. Dachshunds are really feisty dogs. They were bred to go down badger sets, okay? And then pit bulls were designed to, they are a dog that was designed for bull baiting and to grab hold and not let go, and that's in their makeup. So you do need to look at the genetics, of those breeds. And regardless of how the statistics are collated, these are the 2 breeds that bite the most. Now, in my own area, when I did my research, the breed that was most common in my local area was also bull breeds, but I'm not sure how far that was skewed because the local demographic, because the most popular breed in the local area is a bull breed. So obviously kids are going to be bitten more by the bull breeds. And I do wonder if I did the same survey in another area, whether that statistic would be the same. Maybe it would be Dachshunds, I don't know, or Terriers, I don't know. But nationwide, it's the Dachshunds and the Pit Bulls. Anyway, so children under 5 are more commonly bitten on the face. Up to 12, it is the arms, and then over 12, the legs. Now, this is largely due to size, but also the way children interact with the world. Younger children are very much in the face. You know, they'll be looking in, investigating and everything, hence getting bitten on the face. Now, dogs can bite for so many reasons, and the following is a list that I've put together from what I've seen and how people have presented to me. So, food. Okay, massive thing. So this is either child interrupting a dog eating food or chewing, or a child eating and then the dog perhaps going to take the food or something like that. So super important that you keep them separate, whether that's meals or snacks, doesn't matter, just separate. You know, not sitting next to each other on the sofa to enjoy it, just separate. Dogs eating, child separate, child eating, dog separate. Safe. It's all about safety. There was a TikTok video on quite a few months ago I sort of did a stitch with it, and it was this guy with a cane corso in America, and he was putting his baby in the crate with his cane corso puppy to teach the dog that it was all right to have the child around with food. And you know, there were so many of us going, this is just absolute madness. So don't do that at home. It's incredibly dangerous. It's putting the child at such risk, and it's putting the dog under so much stress. Just let the dog enjoy their food and let the child enjoy their food separately, not in a crate together. Dog in the crate enjoying the food, that's fine. So you can put the child in a crate enjoying their food, but not with the dog. Okay, separate. So play. This is a variety of things. So either inappropriate play. Okay, so, and one of the causes for this. So for example, first of all, let's just talk about puppy play. Puppies have sharp teeth. So again, see a lot of kids coming in with puppy bites, and they're not really bites, they're mouthing, but they can really damage the skin, they can cause problems. But one of the key areas I saw as having caused bites is tuggy. Now, before you anyone starts going, but tuggy's really good, it's a key element in causing injuries. Okay, so let's just look at the game tuggy. Now, if you're not familiar with it, it's when you have a tug toy and the dog will hold on the other end of the toy, and then you have this backwards and forwards. Okay, so a child playing with a toy, the dog might see that, oh, let's play tuggy with it. Okay, or they can play tuggy with the toy but go to grab the toy and the child gets bitten by accident. Okay, these are not necessarily bites that are intentional, it's just complete and utter accident. Now, I personally never ever allow a child to play tuggy with a dog. I actually don't play it with my dogs. I play it with my blind dog only. I actually did a 30 days of coaching with Craig Ogilvie. So if you do want to learn how to play tuggy, do it properly, because you need a proper cue to initiate the play and a break cue. And this is absolutely essential, but get proper training from it. But across the board, I actually discourage it with a dog, as it's too easy for a dog to mistake, say, a toy doll or a teddy for a tug toy, and then the child get bitten. Because most people don't have a stop play cue or a start play cue, and that's why it can be a factor. And it's not just that, it's just, you know, the actual action of playing tuggy. For example, child waving the toy in front of his face, sat on the floor, and the dog goes to grab the toy. What can they get instead? They can get little nips all over I've seen it happen. Okay, so it's just best to avoid that. Disturbing a sleeping dog. Let dogs have space. They are not to be disturbed. So give them a space they can retreat to, a crate where the child is not allowed to approach. I remember when I worked as a dog trainer, I was at medical school, one of the other trainers, her dogs they had like their crates under the stairs, and her child was like, you do not approach that area. It is like out of bounds, no. And that's really important that you do that. You know, when I had a flyball team, we had a couple of kids in there, and the parents were really good at making sure their child had these boundaries. They were not allowed to do certain things. When we were actually competing at flyball, I can't remember how old the little girl was now. Maybe she was only about 5 or 6. But when we were actually competing at flyball, she wasn't allowed to run. She could collect the balls afterwards, but only after all the dogs were secure. So there was so we were like minimizing any possible risk for injury at all from a dog just getting overexcited. But it's hugely important. But let dogs sleep. Okay, and this is really important, especially as they get older, because they encourage more sleep and they can be in deeper sleeps and they can get startled. Now, pain. If your dog has a sudden change in behavior, get them checked by a vet, as it can make a massive impact on how a dog responds and as a dog ages too. Now, I've got a beautiful boy, Rowan, who is the softest dog in the world, but he's gone to bite me when he cut his paw. I actually had to go to the emergency vet in order that I could examine him, because I couldn't manage to hold him and check at the same. And it wasn't because he's not a nasty dog. He's the most beautiful dog in the world, but he was scared and he was in pain. And so dogs will lash out. And also, as dogs age, as I've already said, they can get pain over their body and different things. And, touching them in an area might just cause them to react. Now, teasing, this occurs too much. And I can't even begin to tell you the amount of times I see a dog coming into rescue. I'm on loads of groups and things. And because they've bitten a child, and when you get the history, it's because the child's been teasing them. Don't let your child do that to your dog. You wouldn't let that. Would you let your child do that to another child? Probably not. I would hope not. So why let it to a dog? And I forget, a few years ago, seeing this video that was doing the rounds, and a friend posted it on Facebook as going, oh, this is so cute. This is what my dog will be like with my child, right? Because she was pregnant. So the child, it was an English Bull Terrier. The child was in one of those walkers with wheels, maybe just a toddler. And the child was just repeatedly hitting the top of the dog's head like that. Just repeatedly. And I was like, actually, and I was really diplomatic. And I said, I'm really sorry, but actually this isn't a nice video at all. That child is teasing the dog. And if someone else, and it wasn't their dog or child, she just found it on, so that was another child, you would stop it, but because it's a dog, people don't. And it's not a nice video, and that dog's being really tolerant, but it could be at a point where it actually snaps and the child's going to get bitten. That friend unfriended me on Facebook. Seriously, I'd known them for donkey's years, and they unfriended me because I spoke that. But I'm not going to apologize for saying that, because that could potentially have saved her child from getting a bite if she then let their child do that behavior. Same as riding horsey and things like that. They're not horses, they're dogs. Don't let them do that. I don't like it when I see kids curled up with their heads on dogs' backs and everything, because the thing is, they might do that as a cute little toddler, but then when that toddler becomes bigger and your dog gets older and then has back pain, and that child then puts their head on the back, can you see where this is going? So really important that they, that you don't let them do these kind of things. And there's so many videos going around social media at the moment of hugging dogs. And, there was one from a well-known dog site that was doing this little social media thing, is hugging dogs. And it was like, no, that's so bad. Not all dogs like to be hugged. I have some really huggy dogs in my house. They love to be hugged, but not all dogs do. So when my blind dog first came to me, she didn't like to be hugged. Okay. As she got older, she didn't like to be hugged. She loves it. And she'll actually come and hug me now. She puts her paws on me and hugs me. But, not all dogs like to be hugged. And it's really important that you accept those boundaries and understand that it's not the same, as how we view it. So the next one is emotional overflow. Think about your moods. Okay. We get moods. We snap verbally. However, with a dog, they may bite. And a scared and fearful dog may bite as well. So be mindful of that. Now, the next thing is, it's very important to never tell a dog off for growling, as this is a warning. Okay. A growl is a warning. Okay. And if you tell them off for growling, then they won't growl anymore. They'll just go straight to the bite. And it happens. And there's a really good book. There's a really good children's book. I don't know if I've got it up there, actually. It's written by Kendall Shepherd, and I can't remember what it's called now, because I have got a copy up there, but in my bookcase. But it's written by Kendall Shepherd, who also designed The Ladder of Aggression. And so do Google that. but she's written a really lovely book for children about how to behave, teach children to behave with dogs. But it's really worrying. Do not tell your dog off for growling. It's a positive thing, because they are telling your child to go away. And what was really worrying in research that was done, not by me, this is just sort of what nationwide, worldwide in research, that most children actually thought a growling dog was a smiling dog. Because the teeth. So the key thing really to remember is that no matter how loving your dog is, no matter how many years they've been with the family, and how used to children they are, no matter what breed or what age they are, they can still bite. They are animals at the end of the day. And as I said before, the vast majority of bites are completely preventable by good management and supervision of interactions. And teach a child how to behave around dogs. And when a dog bites, it doesn't mean they're a bad dog. Okay, it's, as I said, it's largely due to a massive misunderstanding, and with work, these communication breakdowns can be resolved. But don't put your child in a position, don't leave them unsupervised, because dogs have very sharp teeth. They've got their canines. It doesn't take much for a dog's tooth to puncture the very, very thin skin of a child, a baby. I've had bites on my hand from over, excited play from my dogs, and I'm an adult, and it's gone deep, and it's been like, ow, so it could be even worse on a baby. And some of these bites that certainly occur in babies and everything, they're not really dog's not intentionally bitten, they're more mouthing, but they've done damage because their teeth are sharp. So just don't leave them alone. That's the simplest thing. Be that helicopter parent. Always supervise, because dogs like to put things in their mouths. And it might be your child's or baby's hand, but it's because they're just mouthing things. Look at how they interact with the world with things. I don't want to talk about some of the things my dogs pick up to put in their mouth. I mean, my dog out on a run the other day was sort of throwing a bit of a rabbit. It was already dead. But, that's what they do. Now, I'm a big fan of Dogs Trust. They have some wonderful programs for families. And if you have been troubled with a bite by your dog in the family, or you want to teach your child how to behave around dogs, then do check out Be Dog Smart. So it's at www.learnwithdogstrust.org.uk/safety. And they actually also have workshops to facilitate families after an incident. So I really do recommend that you reach out to them. They are absolutely fantastic. Now, bit of first aid. In the first instance of a bite, make sure you irrigate under running water if possible. Okay, if it's a really serious bite, don't just get straight to A&E. Please seek medical aid, because the problem with bites, they're puncture wounds. They take bacteria deep within the tissue. Okay, now it doesn't even mean that your dog's dirty or something. So, for example, a few weeks ago, one of my cats, she jumped up here. She got a claw stuck in my hand. And my finger got swollen and infected. Okay, that was something that, and she's a house cat. Okay, so, but it's just what happens because they're really deep wounds. Now, dogs are absolutely, they are the best. I love them. I absolutely love them. They're wonderful pets, and, but we have to look at their genetics. We have to look at how they've been, how they're designed, really. And, for all the nurture that we give them, we can't always overrule nature. So please bear that in mind, and just supervise, and hopefully you can take on board some of the things that I have suggested to keep children and dogs safe, because nobody wants a dog to be put to sleep for something that could be avoidable. So if you've got any questions or would like to learn more about anything, do pop to the links that's going across at the bottom of the screen. So it's www.thehealthfuldoctor.com/WPW links. You can just go to links and it will also lead you to that place as well. So thank you very much, everyone. So I hope that helps. If you've got any questions, don't hesitate to ask, and I will see you soon. Do hit the subscribe or the follow button. It really helps me carry on creating more content. Stay safe, everyone. Stay well, and have great fun with your dogs, and only hug them if they want to. Bye.